Welcome, dear learners, to this video. In this video, we're just going to be looking at how to solve quadratic equations. Okay, how to solve quadratic equations. So if you're new to this channel or new to this video, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment, share. Okay, so quadratic equations, these are a type of equations that can be written in this form. Okay, so this form, we call it the quadratic form. Okay, so we call this as the quadratic form. Okay, this is called the quadratic what? The quadratic form. So equations that can be written in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we call these quadratic equations. Okay, we call these quadratic equations. Okay, so now when you have an equation that is in this form, okay, so your variables such as a, your variable b and c there. Okay, so anything, so you notice that a, it has got an x, okay, which is raised to the power 2. B also, it has an x. C does not have an xi. So we call this x, and we call these variables according to algebra. So any number without a variable, for example, c doesn't have an x, so c is called a constant. A and b, can just call them what? Coefficients. Okay, these are known as coefficients. Okay, coefficients. Okay, A and B are coefficients. Okay, they are coefficients. So an equation that a quadratic equation will look something like this. Okay, quadratic equation will look something like this. Okay, to look like this: 6x squared minus 7x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is how a quadratic equation will look like. Okay, so when you compare the two equations, this is the form that you should take. Okay, so in other words, when you compare the two, this will be your A, this will be your B, and this one will be your C. Okay, so this qualifies to be a quadratic equation. Okay, because it's in quadratic form. Okay, it is in quadratic form. So the quadratic form tells you that the equation itself, the highest variable x should be raised to the power 2. Okay, should be raised to the power 2, and then the next variable of x should be raised to the power 1. Okay, so when there's nothing here, just know that it's raised to the power 1. Okay, so this is a quadratic equation. Okay, this is a quadratic equation. So always, whenever you have a question, you should be able to make sure that it's in quadratic form. Okay, it's in quadratic what? Form. So let's take an example. Let's say we are given an example. This example, you have 2x minus 1, okay, 3x minus 2, and then this is equal to 3. Okay, so if we have this question, the question says, such questions here, they will say solve the equation. Okay, solve the equation, okay, correctly to 2 decimal places. Okay, solve the equation correctly to 2 decimal places. So all quadratic equations, okay, all quadratic equations must always, after you find your answer, you round them off to 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. Now in the exam under GCE, such type of questions you're given 5 marks for each question. You're given 5 marks. Okay, so let's look at this example we have. In brackets 2x minus 1, in brackets 3x minus 2 is equal to 3. Okay, so the first step here will be what? Okay, so step number 1. Okay, step number 1 here will be what? Convert the equation. Okay, convert the equation to quadratic form. Okay, convert the equation to quadratic what? Form. Okay, so we're going to say convert the equation to quadratic form. Quadratic what? Form. Okay, convert the equation to quadratic form. So our equation, okay, our equation is 2x minus 1, this is in brackets, 3x minus 2 in brackets is equal to 3. So we need to convert this to quadratic what? Quadratic form. Okay, so the way we are going to do this, first we need to get rid of the brackets. Remember, from our order of operation, BODMAS, BO stands for bracket open, then division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So the first thing, we open the brackets before we start doing anything. So opening the brackets here, we're going to multiply the numbers inside here with the numbers this side. Okay, so how we are going to do it is this 2x, okay, we multiply with everything. Okay, we multiply with everything, and I'll show you how we are going to do that. Okay, so let's start with the 2x. It multiplies with everything here. So 2x times 3x. Okay, 2x times 3x. Okay, 2x times 3x. This will give us what? 2x times 3x. It's more like you're doing 2 times 2. That is 6. X times x. That is x squared. Okay, so 2x times 3x, it is x squared. Okay, then again, this 2x will multiply with the negative 2. Okay, so 2x times negative 2, 2x times negative 2, that will be negative. Okay, it's going to be negative 4x. Okay, so what have we done? 2x, so 2x times 3x, 6x squared. Okay, 2x times negative 2, negative 4x. Okay, so we are done multiplying the 2x. So next we multiply the negative 1 with everything this side. Okay, so negative 1 times 3x. What is negative 1 times 3x? Okay, it's simply negative 3x. Okay, anything multiplied by 1, it's itself. Fine. So again, negative 1 times negative 2. Now you notice here you have a negative and a negative. So negative 1 times negative 2, this will be plus. Okay, it will be positive 2. Okay, this will be positive 2. So we have opened the brackets. Okay, all right, so we have opened the brackets. Okay, then we're not yet done. Notice here we've got like terms. Okay, 4x and minus 3x, these are like terms. Okay, so this is going to be 6x squared minus 7x. Why 7x? Whenever you've got two same signs, minus 4x minus 4x, maintain the sign negative, then add. So 4x plus 3x is 7x. Okay, let me repeat that again. Okay, whenever you've got same signs, you have a negative and a negative here, you maintain the sign, then add the numbers. So 4x, 3x, you add them, they'll give you 7x. Okay, I hope that is clear. Then plus 2 is equal to 3. Okay, so now we're trying to convert this equation into quadratic form. So here we are partly done. We've noticed that, okay, we've got an x squared here, okay. This is partly done. It can be written like this, and also here it is done, okay. Now here we need to have a 0, okay. Remember the quadratic form, it must be ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, okay. So we need to be left with a 0, but then we have 3 here. So this 3 we're going to take it this side, so to remain with nothing here, okay. We remain with it completely nothing, okay. So once we take the 3, it crosses the equal sign. This will be 6x squared minus 7x, okay, plus 2. The 3 comes here, this is minus 3. Whenever a number crosses the equal sign, it becomes a negative, is equal to, since we've taken the 3 side here, there's nothing, so we say 0, okay. Then again here, these are like terms. They are both constants without any variable, okay. They are both constants. So we can work it out like this: 6x squared minus 7x. Different signs, okay. Different signs. How do you work around different signs? So if different signs, first of all, look at which one is the bigger number. Between 2 and 3, the bigger number is 3. And 3, is it a negative or a positive? It is a negative. So, meaning your answer, you're going to maintain the negative, okay? So look at the numbers first, 2 and 3. Which one is bigger? It's 3. 3, which sign does it have? Negative sign. So meaning your answer should have a negative sign. And then the rule here, if you have different signs, subtract, okay? Different signs, okay? Different signs, you do what? Subtract. Different signs, because this is a positive, this is a negative, so these are different signs. Just subtract the numbers. 2, you subtract 2 minus, 3 minus 2, it's to be what? Okay, 2 simply going to be 1. Why does it have a negative? Because the bigger number 3 has got a negative, okay. So these are just basic rules for integers, basic rules for integers. Okay, so now after this, at this point, we've arrived, we have converted the equation into quadratic form. So like this, it's in quadratic form, okay. This is ax squared bx c is equal to 0, okay. Your a is 6, your b is negative 7, your c is simply what? 0, okay. Your c is simply 0. So we have converted this into what? A quadratic equation, okay. A quadratic equation. So another example how to convert into quadratic equation. We see how we can work around that, okay. So okay, so we have okay, so let's look at now, since now we've learned how to convert an equation into quadratic equation if it's been given in brackets. So whenever you have an equation like this, always make sure you change it to quadratic form before you can even start solving for anything. Just make sure you can change it, okay. So let's see another example. How can we change something to quadratic form, okay. So another example. So in this example you are told, say, solve, okay, solve in brackets negative 3x minus 4, okay, in brackets x plus 1 is equal to 0, okay. So this one would do the same thing, okay. Convert it first to quadratic form. So we open the brackets, so converting it to quadratic form, open the brackets here. So how did we open the brackets? We multiply these numbers with these numbers, so this negative 3x multiply with everything. So negative 3x times x, okay, negative 3x times x, this is simply negative what? 3x squared, okay, to be negative 3x squared, okay, negative 3x squared. And then before you go to the negative 4, again you multiply negative 3x times 1, negative 3x times positive 1. When you multiply 1 with anything, it will give you itself. So we get negative 3x again, negative 3x, okay. So after you're done, so you've multiplied these 3 with all the numbers this side. Then the next step is to do what? To multiply now this 4, everything this side. So negative 4 times x, okay, negative 4 times x, that will give us negative 4x, okay, to give us negative 4x, negative 4 times x, negative 4x, okay. Then negative 4 times positive 1, that will be negative 4 is equal to 0, okay. So after this now, negative 3x squared, these are like terms, remember, same signs, okay, same signs, maintain the sign, add the numbers, 3x plus 4x, that is 7x, okay. Then minus 4 is equal to 0, okay. So this one was quite pretty much easy and straightforward. So this one now has been changed to quadratic form, okay. So this is a x squared, this is b x, and this is c, okay, is equal to what? To 0, okay. So this is in quadratic form, okay. This is in quadratic form, okay. So I think that's more on how to convert an equation that is given in brackets, how you can convert it to quadratic form, okay. So now let's look at now how do we solve these quadratic equations, okay. So there are quite a number of formulas, okay. In this video we'll just concentrate on 2 formulas, okay. We're going to concentrate on 2 formulas, okay. We'll concentrate on 2 formulas, and the first formula we'll look at is the quadratic formula, okay. We'll look at the quadratic formula, okay. Quadratic formula and the factorization method. So 2 formulas. Number 1, we'll look at the factorization method. Okay, factorization method. 2, we'll look at the formula method. All right, so we're going to solve this question. We're going to solve this same question using the factorization method first, okay. We're going to solve this question using the factorization method first, okay. So I'll write here solution. I'll use the factorization method. So we have negative 3x squared minus 7x minus 4 is equal to 0, okay. So before you do anything, you first do this. So you're using factorization method. So first you need to know what is your a, your b, and your c, okay. So in this case, my a is negative 3. Okay, you get them together with their sign. My B is negative 7. Okay, and my C is negative 4. Okay, so once you have this, then you can go ahead and solve for the question. So to solve this question, we need to find first what we call the product. Okay, what we call the product, what we call the sum. Okay, product, sum, and we put an hash here for the two numbers. Okay, I'll explain these two numbers that we want. Okay, so here the product, how do you get your product? The product is simply multiplying of A and C. Okay, the product of A and C, you multiply A and C. The sum is simply B. Okay, and the two numbers will come to this. Okay, so we say the product, it's A times C. What is your A? A is negative 3 times C. C is negative 4. So negative 3 times negative 4, you get 12. Positive 12, negative and negative is 12. So our product is 12. Okay, our product is 12. Then we said the sum, you just get B. So our sum is B. So get it together with its sign, negative 7. Okay, then the two numbers now. The two numbers here, I want you to listen carefully. You are going to find two numbers such that when you multiply these two numbers, okay, when you multiply these two numbers, they should give you 12. When we multiply these two numbers, should give us what? 12, okay? And when we add them, they should give us 7. Okay, so let's look at numbers that can go into 12. 3 and 4, okay? They can all go into 12. So 3 and 4. Okay, so now we need to ask ourselves, if we multiply 3 and 4, do we get 12? Of course, yes. 3 times 4 is 12. Now when we add 3 and 4, are we going to get negative 7? Okay, no, we are going to get positive 7. So we want to get negative 7, so I'll put a negative and a negative here. So meaning my two numbers are negative 3 and negative what? 4. Okay, so the tricky part about the factorization method is here where you're supposed to find your two numbers. So find two numbers such that when you multiply them, they should give you your product. When you add them, they should give you your sum. Okay, so negative 3 times negative 4, it is 12. Positive 12. Negative 3 plus negative 4, it is negative 7. Okay, negative 7. So these are our two numbers. Okay, these are our two numbers. So after we found our two numbers, it's pretty much easy. After this, you go back to your equation. You say negative 3x squared. So this product here, we replace it with our two numbers. Negative 7, replace it with your two numbers. So our two numbers are negative 3a, but you add an x, so negative 3x. The other one, negative 4x. Okay, then this when you come to your negative 4 there, negative 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so when you are here now, here you factorize by grouping. So you group these together and these together, then we're going to factorize. We're going to factorize. So factorization, you look at what is common here and here. Okay, so the common thing here is negative 3x. Okay, you notice here you have got negative 3 and x. Here you also have negative 3x. So the common thing is negative 3x. When you open your brackets, just factorizing. So when we remove, okay, here we've said the common, so we've removed the negative, the 3 and x. So what remains here? It is simply x. Okay, so to know that you've factorized well, try to multiply negative 3x times x. Are you going to get negative 3x squared? Of course you'll get negative 3x squared. So negative 3x times x, it's to give you negative 3x squared again. Okay, Then here we've removed, so negative 3x, we've removed it, it's here. So here you remain with 1. Okay, you remain with what? 1. Okay, now let's try negative 3x times negative 1. Okay, are we going to get negative 3x? No, we'll get this if we multiply negative 3x. So here the problem is the sign, so let's put the sign as a positive, so that when you multiply negative 3x times positive 1, it will give you negative 3x. Okay, so this side we have factorized. About this side, what is common? What is common here is negative 4. Okay, so negative 4 is common. So this side we've removed negative 4, you remain with x. You remove negative 4, so you remain with 1. I'll say plus 1 again. Why am I putting plus here? Because I want, when I multiply negative 4 times positive 1, I should get negative 4. If I put minus here, it will be wrong because this is not a plus. It is not a plus. Okay, so it's equal to 0. So, and the way you can tell whether your factorization is well, you should get the same thing in the brackets. Always you should get the same thing. If you notice there, we have got x plus 1, x plus 1. Okay, so now after this, you're going to group this with this. So negative 3x minus 4. And then these you just pick 1, x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, after this now you equate the factors to 0. Okay, equate the factors. So these are factors. So negative 3x minus 4 will be equal to 0. Then you say or, then this x plus 1 is equal to 0. Here this will be negative 3x, take the 4 here, becomes equal to 4 over negative 3 over negative 3. Okay, so meaning x is simply equal to what? 4 over negative what? 3. Okay, 4 over negative 3. Okay, 4 over negative 3. Then these questions will come in paper 2, so you can finish it off by saying 4 divided by 3. Okay, using a calculator. What is 4 divided by negative 3? So 4 divided by negative 3. Okay, 4 divided by negative what? 3. Okay, 4 divided by negative 3. What do we get? Okay, so 4 we divide by negative what? 3. Okay, what's the answer? We get we actually get negative 1.33. Correct to 2 decimal places, because it will give us a recurring 1.33333. Okay, and then here so we were solving this side. This side you simply take the one this side, so x is equal to negative 1. Okay, so these are our values for x. So we say x is equal to negative 1.33, or x is equal to negative 1. Okay, and you are done. And for this you get 5 marks. Okay, you get 5 marks for this. Okay, so if you are not clear, you can simply watch the video again, slowly by slowly, pause whenever you want to understand something, replay the video. Okay, so this is the factorization method. I hope you've learned something. So let's look at the formula method. Okay, so the formula method, okay, it's I think the easiest. Okay, so the formula method, okay, formula method. No, so here we want the formula. How do we solve a quadratic equation? So I'll pick the same question. I want to show you that we're going to get the same answers. So I'll pick the same question again. I'll use the formula method. Okay, I'll use the formula method. So we have solve the same question, negative 3x squared minus 7x minus 4 is equal to to 0. Okay, so the formula is always given to you in your mathematics paper 2. The formula is always given. Okay, so the formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That is the quadratic formula. So we call this the quadratic formula, and it will be given to you in your maths paper on the first page. On the first page. So again, before we even start finding, your A is this is your B, this is your C. Okay. So we're going to say my A is -3. Okay, my B is -7. My C is -4. So now that you have these, you just start plugging in the equation. Plug these in the equation. So it's going to be x is equal to, okay, so this will be, so you notice the formula begins with a negative, so don't forget to write the negative. So negative, so before you replace b, open the brackets. Okay, always open the brackets before you replace any number. So the negative, this is here, so I want to replace b. I've opened the brackets. What is my b? My b is -7, so I'll write here -7. So just do like this. You won't be getting confused with the signs, okay? Because people sometimes forget that there's a negative here, okay? So there's a negative here, and then for b, it's -7. So plus or minus. So whenever you are replacing, I've said open brackets. Open your brackets. What is b again? -7. Now there is a square, okay? A 2 squared, okay? A square there. So this is how you replace. Then minus 4. Again, you want to replace a, open the brackets. What is a? A is -3. Then you have c again, so you open the brackets. What is c? C is -4. Okay, so you're done replacing here, but remember, don't forget there's 2a down. So 2, again a, you want to replace, open the brackets, a is -3. So here we're just replacing the letters with the numbers. We're just replacing the letters with the numbers. Okay, we use a different ink. So x is equal to, here now, you must open the brackets. So these brackets we are putting, you must open the brackets. So how do you open the brackets? You multiply. Negative times negative, it is positive. Okay, so positive. So we don't write positive, right? So we're just going to write 7. But we know this is positive what? 7. Plus or minus, okay? Plus or minus, you open the brackets, put this on your calculator. Open your brackets, put -7, close, and then you put a bracket. It will give you 49, positive 49. And also this one, you can put everything on your calculator, starting from the negative. -4, you open the brackets, -3, you open the brackets, -4. See what it's going to do, what it's going to give us, okay? So, -4 by 3, this is 12, okay? 12 by 4, okay? 12 by 4, that's 8, so 48, okay? So notice that negative, negative, positive, then negative, negative. So the sign here is -48. You can do everything on a calculator. It will give you -48. Okay, so here 2 times -3, that is -6. Okay. After this, you say x is equal to 7 plus or minus 49 minus 48. This is just 1 over -6. So once we've reached here you split them. You split these two signs since we've got plus or minus. Okay, split them. Use a different ink again. This is going to be x is equal to 7. Okay, we start with the plus, so 7 plus square root 1 over 6, and you say O, then you say 7, you go to the minus square root 1 over 6. Okay, so once we reach here, we're almost done. Here the calculator will help us. Calculator will help us. So you just put everything here on your calculator, see what you get. Put everything on your calculator and see what you get. Okay, so when you say 7 plus square root of 1, okay, so that is 8. Okay, that would be 8. Okay, that would be what? Square root of 1 is 1. Okay, so you don't have to do it in your head. This is paper 2. At least you can utilize the calculator. If you're really good at mathematics, you can simply okay, so this is 7, square root of 1 is 1 over 6, or this is 7, square root of 1 is 1, so minus 1 over 6. This is going to be 8 over 6, or 6 over 6. Okay, so here we multiply using calculator. 8 minus 6, you get 1.333. So to 2 decimal places, or okay, let's see, there's something here. Oh, here you're going to get 1. Okay, you're going to get 1. Okay, you're going to get 1. Okay, so remember, this will give us 6. 6 into there, that is that will give us 1. Okay, to give us 1. Okay, so that is how you use the quadratic formula. Okay, that's how you use the quadratic formula. Okay, so please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not on the channel. Like, comment on the video if you've liked the video. Share it with your friends. Okay,